Hey guys, welcome back for this week's episode of the Trident Sports Medicine Minute. I'm Rick Covard, athletic trainer for Trident Sports Medicine and the South Carolina Stingrays. And this week my guest is on again, off again Stingrays goaltender Jeff Jakaitis. Jeff, so you're pretty experienced. You're probably one of the older goalies in the league. Kind of talk to me about how things have changed since you've aged a little bit and things you have to do differently now to be ready and stay fresh throughout this grueling ECHL season.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's definitely been, I feel a difference going from, I think 14, 15, the last season I was here, and then 2 years overseas. The schedule's a lot different. So I think for me, the most important thing is like the recovery takes a little bit longer as I've gotten older. Like I don't bounce back, the way I used to warm up as well. I get to the rink early and make sure I have plenty of time to, use the heat packs, loosen up, stretch out, get on the ice a little bit early, make sure I'm ready, right when practice starts. I need to have a sweat going already because I can't, bounce into practice in 5 minutes like I could when I was 25. So I think really those are the most important things. Just focus on, getting workouts in when I can to keep myself in shape and stay loose and, hydrated, stay on top of that recovery. It's things just seem to take a little bit longer when you get older. So one of Scott Ford's favorite sayings when he was here was, if you ain't sweaty, you ain't ready. He was a little older when he played here too. It's definitely the case. You mentioned you played in Europe. Kind of talk to us a little bit about the differences between playing here. You mentioned the schedule is a little bit different, and any other things that you may have noticed that were different. Yeah, I think, especially where I was at in Norway, obviously one of the big differences is travel. We only had maybe 2-3 nights where we didn't sleep in our own bed. There was one team that was a flight for us, but it was about a 45-minute flight. Total travel would be, 3 or 4 hours door to door with waits at the airport and everything. Outside of that, our longest bus trip was about 2 hours. And as far as a game schedule, it's usually Thursday, Saturday, Thursday, Sunday. On a rare occasion, a couple times a year, you'd have 3 games a week, but never back-to-back games. So that's been definitely an adjustment coming back to, sometimes you have like the Friday, Saturday, Sunday afternoon, 4 and 5s, 7 and 10 is obviously a big change from that. But on the flip side too, the goaltending situation is a little different over there. Usually you'll have, one guy that's kind of your go-to guy, and then some younger junior guys that come along. So you're playing almost every night, which that side is nice to get into a rhythm, but that's a lot more realistic when you're playing 45 games instead of 72 games. But it's, it was definitely a lot easier on the body, no question. I think those are the two things that really take the most out of you in this league: the travel and playing back-to-back nights, 3 and 3, 4 and 5, can really wear on you. So. Yeah.
One of the unique situations that you've been through is having 2 ACL repairs, one here, one in Atlanta. Kind of go through that process, the rehab process, mentally and physically, getting back to playing after sustaining such a serious injury.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster, no doubt. Obviously when the injury first happens, I think for me, both times, the first time having not been through it was, ACL is a major surgery, and your first thought is, well, am I going to be able to play again after this? Wearing a knee brace and that, and for me, the same thing with the second one is, am I going to be able to play with two bad knees now? And it was, it's not a lot of fun those first couple months. I think the total length from surgery to back in a game, I think the first time around was like 8 months. Second time was around 7 months. So it's a long process, and as those first couple months are tough when you can't really bend your leg, and it's hard to get sleep, and it hurts, and even going to the bathroom is tough with those. So, but not to pump your tires, but I lucked out. I think I had great doctors both times, and great trainers to help out. We shaved a month off the recovery when I was working with you in the summer, and I think that was really good for me to, especially in your case, to have someone who's been around hockey, knows hockey, been around athletes, was an athlete, to know that, where we could push the recovery, how it is mentally, days when you can't really do much, you feel like you're not making any progress. Those days are tough, and I thought you did a great job of managing that, and obviously it's, as the further in the rearview mirror they get, the better I feel, and I think physically I probably feel better than I have in 3-4 years with, some downtime, not playing as many games overseas, and, getting some distance from those injuries, getting good workouts, good summer training. It's been, it's a long process, but it's, made it through too, so.
Great. Well, thanks for all the insight. Thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll see you next week.